What is good and welcome back to Chat and Reacts. I'm Jack, your British goat, and today we're going to be doing some more kind of history-based NBA here. We got the best shooter from every decade in NBA history. I know Curry's going to be on here. Will Jordan be on here maybe? I can't think of many others. Like I said, you know, these history videos, we're not going to do them too often, I think. But it's good to kind of know where the game came from, where it evolved. So as always, let me down in the comments what you think about this. And of course, way down there, hit the like button and the subscribe button. Let's go.
When the NBA first introduced the three-pointer, there were just 3 players who shot over 40%.
As I say, we know Curry's going to be in here.
50 such players. We live in the three-point era, and shooting has clearly become the most valuable basketball skill. In this video, we'll go over some interesting shooting statistics, compare the numbers across different eras, and name the best shooters of each
But
NBA
they didn't bring
decade.
what the 3-point line to what the 60s or 70s, did they?
Jerry West. Like his mentee Kobe Bryant, Jerry West was obsessed with basketball, and he was never satisfied with his performance, no matter how good he played. I missed only 1 shot in the game. I made all the free throws. I had 14 rebounds and 12 assists. I think I scored 40 points. After the game,
That's a very
all I
good
could
game.
think about was how I could have missed that 1 layup. Jerry West. It's almost unbelievable how someone so self-critical could be almost immune to pressure in games.
I like
and
that,
become a
though.
cold-blooded scoring machine.
I like that.
Jerry was hitting from every spot on the floor, averaging 27 points per game over a 14-year career that began in 1960. The most famous shot of his career was a Hail Mary against the Knicks in the 1970 finals. The Lakers trailed by 2 with a few seconds remaining, and West made a 60-foot jumper from his half court and forced the game to overtime. Of course, the three-point shot wasn't yet invented. If it were, West's shot would be one of the best game winners in NBA Finals history. After the game, Knicks point guard Walt Frazier said, "That man is crazy. You should have seen his eyes. He really believed he was going to make a shot from that distance." West shot 47.4% from the field and 81.4% from the free throw line for his career, which doesn't seem like much today, but that was well above league average in the 60s. West's efficiency numbers gain more value if you consider that his shooting diet mainly consisted of jumpers. He was one of the only guys to consistently make shots from outside in the era where the game was played closely to the basket and dominated by big men. The logo was the first great NBA shooter, and if he could have shot three-pointers, West would have probably won more than just 1 title from his 9 trips to the NBA Finals. 1970s.
We got an ad. Look, as always, when we have an ad, make sure you're hitting the like button and subscribe button. Oh, if I had enough money, there might be no more ads.
Pete Maravich. Pistol Pete played basketball like it was an exhibition game in the park.
That was awful.
Not a professional environment filled with pressure and big expectations. Or at least it looked that way. His showmanship had no limits, and you could almost expect to see a behind-the-back pass.
Still no three-point line
One
at this
assist
point.
without looking. He was the original white chocolate, and many of the flamboyant moves that Jason Williams did in the 2000s, Pistol already did 30 years earlier. Apart from exceptional ball handling and passing skills, Maravich was also an extraordinary shooter. To this day, Pistol Pete remains the greatest scorer in college basketball history, with an absurd 44.2 points per game in 3 seasons at LSU. And that's all without a three-point.
That was college.
In the NBA, he averaged 24.2 points, for which he shot 44%
There's no three-point line at this point.
and 82% from the free throw line. Like Jerry West, Maravich's game was predicated on his smooth jumper, and he was one of the very few outside threats in the league that always wanted to dump the ball to the big man. In 1980, the only year of his career with a three-point line, Pistol Pete shot a remarkable 67% from deep, when he was already 1 foot out of the league because of knee injuries. If Maravich played in the pace and space era, his shooting efficiency and scoring numbers would have likely been even higher. 1980s. Larry Bird.
Larry Bird.
When the NBA adopted the three-pointer in the 1979
I can see why he's on
many
here.
teams and players viewed the 3 as a publicity stunt. Larry Bird, the Celtics rookie, was amongst them. Despite thinking that the line drawn out 23 feet and 9 inches from the basket was unnecessary, Bird soon proved to be the deadliest marksman from deep. In the birth year of the three-pointer, the average team took just 2.8 three-pointers per game, and Bird was one of 11 players that year that shot over 30% on three-pointers, and one of those 3 that shot over 40%. It makes it even more impressive when you know that Bird never practiced three-pointers, and there were no drawn plays for the deep ball. Larry eventually won 3 straight three-point contests, with most notable being the 1988 contest. When
that kind of crazy if he never practiced
which one of them was finishing second, and then, without even taking his jacket off, he'd go on to prove his words and win the thing. In 897 games of his career, Larry made 49.6% of his shots, including 38% for 3 and 89% from the free throw line. He's one of 9 NBA players in the super rare 50-40-90 club. An unofficial stat for players who shot 50% from the field, 40% on threes, and 90% from the free throw line. Larry's incredible shooting prowess gave birth to one of the meanest trash-talking stories in NBA history. Because he was so confident in his shot, Larry would often say what he was going to do to his opponents, and then do it. In the 1986 season, he shot an entire game with his left hand, just because he was bored and needed new challenges. He ended up with 47 points. Or that one time against the Phoenix Suns, when the Celtics were down by 2, with seconds left on the shot clock. During the timeout, Bird just walked to the Suns bench and told them, "Yeah, I'm just gonna bust a 3 on you guys and go home. I'm tired of this." Of course, that's exactly what happened, and that's why Larry was called legend, and why he was the best shooter in the 80s. 1990s. Reggie Miller. Reginald Wayne Miller was born to shoot. Due to his slender frame, He couldn't dominate the court with his body when he was younger. And even his older sister Cheryl used to beat him one-on-one. Granted, she was one of the best female basketball players ever. Reggie had to find his spot on the court with his shooting. So when he grew into a 6'7" guard with a long wingspan and with a sniper in his hands, there was trouble. In the 90s and early 2000s, Miller was considered the best shooter who ever played, a title that he earned through the number of threes he was making, his efficiency, and numerous clutch shots in the playoffs. Reggie was so good in the clutch that the final moments of the
Is this a player worth checking out? Let me
Miller
know down in the comments.
because everyone expected Miller's incredible shot making to save the day. 8 points in 9 seconds against the Knicks in 1994, game winner after he pushed Jordan away in 1998, and a 40-foot buzzer beater against the Nets in the 2002 playoffs are some of the highlights from his storied career. Miller is also one of those 9 players to join the 54.
I think that's the thing I do like about doing these kind of history ones is I will learn players' names that will eventually, they talk about all these players and I've never heard of them. So it's kind of cool when you check these history ones out. I get almost an understanding and knowledge of who these players are, that the commentators and even players bring up in interviews.
2,563 pointers in his career, an NBA record at the time of his retirement in 2005. Apart from threes, Reggie led the league in free throw percentage 5 times, and with 89% from the charity stripe, he's currently number 12 in all-time free throw accuracy. Honorable mention for the best shooter in the 90s goes to Dražen Petrović, a Croatian shooting guard who Miller himself praised in 2012 as the best shooter ever. Due to his tragic passing at the age of 28, Dražen played just 4 years of NBA basketball, but his career field goal percentage is over 50%, a rarity for a guard, and his 44% for 3 is still in the top 5 ever in three-point accuracy. 2000s, Ray Allen. Ray Allen did everything that Reggie Miller did in the 90s, but he turned it up a notch.
So I thought, like I said, my lack of knowledge would have thought in my head that Michael Jordan would be in here. But clearly
Ray
not.
averaged more points than Reggie in his prime. He set the NBA Finals record for threes in a game.
I think this is old
and
as
won
well,
the
so
title
we
in
won't see
2008,
one for the,
something that Miller was never able to do. And then in the 2013
far in the
Finals,
20s.
Ray lived up to his nickname. And just like Jesus, he saved Miami in Game 6. It's one of the most clutch and most memorable three-pointers in NBA history. And although this is somewhat subjective, Ray Allen had one of the prettiest jump shots in NBA history. At the time of making this video, his 2,973 career threes are still an NBA record for three-pointers made, a record that will soon be broken by the next person on the list. But before we talk about Steph Curry, an honorable mention is due, and it goes to Steve Nash. Nash is primarily known as a passer.
Yeah, do you know what? I like that I'm seeing in these compilations now.
As we mentioned before, only 9 guys in NBA history managed to shoot 50, 40, 90 over an entire season. Among those 9, only Larry Bird has done it more than once and has 2 such seasons. Nash has done it 5 times and is one of the most efficient shooters ever. In retrospect, he should have probably been more selfish and passed the ball less. 2010s, Steph Curry. The 1980 NBA Finals between the Sixers and LA Lakers was the first finals in which it was possible to score a three-pointer. And in 6 games of that series, both teams combined for only 1 made 3 from 20 total attempts. From today's perspective, this seems unbelievable, and basketball thinking where the 3 was not considered a weapon looks medieval. In the 2020 NBA Finals, which was also won by the Lakers in 6 games, there were a combined 428 three-point attempts and 153 made threes.
Over the 6?
Threes today make up 40% of all shots in a game. 6 years ago, they made up 24%. 20 years ago, only 17% of all shots were three-pointers. A blatant fact that 3 is more than a 2 has been staring us all in the face since 1980. But it wasn't until 2015 that the 3 became a widespread tactic. And it was all because of one man and one team. That man was Steph Curry, flanked by his splash brother Klay Thompson and the rest of the Golden State Warriors. They were the first quote-unquote jump shooting team that won the NBA title. In 2016, they mopped the floor with the rest of the league when they won an NBA record 73 games with their pace and space basketball. Steph and Klay began shooting and making the number of threes never seen before, which started the three-point revolution and changed basketball forever. Curry made 402 threes in the 2016 regular season, which is just one of many shooting records he broke. Steph is soon going to surpass Ray Allen as the all-time leader in three-pointers made. He's the all-time leader in career free throw percentage.
He probably already has, because
this
video is a couple years old.
Three-point accuracy. Without any doubt, he's the best shooter to ever play.
I mean, that's the thing, right? Is it's kind of hard to base the history of NBA to now. I feel like it is, especially from what I've seen, a completely different game. And I could be wrong in thinking, but like to me, it's faster, but it's more tactical. It's more get the ball off into the corner for a 3, or we're going to drive in. But I feel like from what I've seen, it's more faster. But let me know what you think about down below. And of course, way down, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Hope you all have a great day. Peace.